Yo, how you doing? I'm Shaodow. I'm a professional rapper and I'm from London.
Listen, brother, you don't want to step into the lesson. Every second I'm progressing. Definition of a weapon made for selling. Never head and leave you dead in a pheasant. Out of wedding with no feathers in the dress. And I ain't messing with your peasant. Tell them if they're forgetting, I'll definitely come to get them in reddish. For the selling.
Earliest would probably be nothing to do with hip hop. I think it might have been like the Spice Girls or something like that. No, I wasn't really into music when I was a kid. It was just something in the background, you know. It really started. I think I was into pop music as you are when you're in primary school or whatever, but I didn't really start getting into music until around the Eminem 50 Cent kind of times. Ludacris, the Word of Mouth album, sick album. That was one of the first albums I really got into. And yeah, when I fell into hip hop and into rap, I didn't fall out again. I was just kind of messing about when I was probably about 17 or so, just writing lyrics, thinking I was alright when I wasn't. But it was when I went to China and I was living over there and studying Kung Fu. In my downtime, I would just kind of put pen to paper and write lyrics and things like that. And eventually I got good at it. And I thought, you know, this is something that I could probably do. So I didn't stop. And I still haven't stopped today. But yeah, it was just really something that I started as a hobby and started doing because I really loved it, and continue doing it because I still love it, you know. And I just feel very blessed to be able to make a living from it. I watch too many Kung Fu films is the short answer, and I'm the sort of person who does things when he says he's going to do them. So I don't want to live a boring life. I think that's absolutely pointless. So, you know, if there's something that I'm really passionate about doing, or that I really feel that I need to do, I will eventually do it, regardless of how long it takes. So, yeah. I would love to, ideally for booking, but failing that, you know, one day I'd like to be in a position where I can quite comfortably take 2 to 3 months off and just disappear off to China and do some training and come back with a new album. Talking to people, walking up to them, playing them my music, and having CDs available to buy, selling CDs at shows, selling them on my website, but predominantly just being a physical presence in the real world with CDs available and dope music and the ability for people to listen to it on. So yeah, mainly it's been through my store, my pop-up shop, the Blue and Purple store. This week I'm going to the Intu Centre in Merry Hill, and we'll be there selling the music, merchandise and headphone brands. So it's literally just being out there in the real world and talking to people about the music. It's kind of like a politician, just knocking on doors and doing the campaign trail, except, you know, you're promoting the music and making people aware that you exist and that you've got something good to listen to. It just seemed like a natural progression, because initially it was going out on the streets and selling CDs from a backpack, and that's all well and good, but winter for one thing, rain for another thing, and I think perception as well. People look at you in a certain way, and it was getting to the point where I was explaining some of the achievements that I had and some of the things that I'd done, and people just were straight up saying, so why are you out here then? Why are you, you know, on the street talking to me? And I personally don't have a problem with hard work, and I think there's nothing wrong with, or nothing to be ashamed of, for going out there and trying to make something happen. But if you're looking at the way that you're perceived as an artist, you have to take it up to that next level. So going into shopping centres and having like a physical, small pop-up shop just seemed like the next logical step, and it looks a lot more professional, at least in my opinion, and it seems to be to other people's opinions, when you're inside a reputable shopping centre and you've got your merchandise laid out, you've got your music and everything, and people can come and have a look, and you're the artist on the banner, you know, you're on the shop display and everything. So yeah, you would think so, but a lot of people just kind of walk straight by and don't even care to have a look, which I find really weird, because if I see something I've never seen before, I at least want to have a look. So I guess some humans are just uncurious, and that's just them, but the people who do stop are really, you know, interested and impressed by what it is we're doing. So yeah, I appreciate them. It's those people that I want to talk to anyway, to be fair. I think the store is a natural filter for my fan base, because the sort of people who wouldn't listen to me, ironically, are also the sort of people who wouldn't be interested in stopping and finding out about a hard-working entrepreneurial artist. I don't know if it's fair for me to comment on other artists because I don't really know their journey or their specific work schedule. I think everybody's got their own strengths and weaknesses, and you have to play to what you're good at. It just so happens I'm good at talking to people and convincing them that I make good music and that it's worth investing some money into. So that's my strength, and that's something that I play up to. Other people may be really good at social media or very good at making YouTube videos or Instagram videos or whatever. So play to your strengths, I think, and make that a part of your artistry. Gone are the days where you can just make music. You've got to go above and beyond that and do a lot more as a musician, quote unquote musician. The music part of it is such a small part these days. You've got to be on the social media, you've got to be out there shaking hands, networking, you've got to be planning your videos. There's so many things that you have to do, and I think it's a lot more attractive to anybody who wants to get on board, whether that be a label or a management team or a distributor or a publisher. It's a lot more attractive to them when you're already able and willing to do much more yourself than just sitting around and waiting for the opportunity, because 9 times out of 10 it will never come. I've got my headphone brand, I've got my book as well, the manga, The Way of Shao, the merchandise, USB wristbands, just different ways. I just want my music to get out there to as many people as possible in different mediums. So whether that be an audio medium or a visual or whatever, I just want people to enjoy my creativity, so that my musical artistry extends into my merchandise, and I design most of my stuff myself, so it's stuff that I personally would wear just on a bigger scale, So a lot of my stuff starts off as a one-off just for me, and it's only because other people like it that I decide, okay, let me make this available. And then USBs, it's just a natural progression because people don't really use CDs anymore. Same with the headphones. I have a pair of headphones that has an inbuilt MP3 player, so you can store the music on it. It comes preloaded with my music on it. The sound quality is good enough that I know that if you're listening to my music, it's going to sound the way I want it to sound. So yeah. There's nothing to stop you outsourcing. But if you don't have the finances or the budget to do that, then you have to think of different ways to do things, and often that's just doing it yourself. And over the course of time, you learn how to do a lot of the smaller and medium-sized jobs that you would normally pay somebody for, and it saves time because you don't need to communicate to somebody else what it is you want, and it saves money. And I think it's also good to be able to know what it is other people are doing, so that if they're doing it wrong, you can either explain to them why they've done it wrong, or you can just do it yourself, which often happens to me. In terms of merchandise, you have your staples. You've got the t-shirts, the jumpers, hoodies. I'd say hoodies over jumpers. Hats. And the hats break down into so many different categories. You've got trucker hats, beanies, caps, snapbacks, as well as fitted. Trilbies, the bucket hats. There's loads of different hats. And I think ultimately you need to think about, in terms of your merchandise, what would you as an artist wear and what would work with your artistic brand. Not just the designs that go on the clothing, but the type of clothing as well, because there are different sorts of t-shirts. You've got the normal necks, you've got the low-cut V-necks, you've got ones with holes in it, all sorts of different ones. It's about what you personally would wear as an artist, and then subsequently what you think your fan base would also wear. And ideally, those two things should pretty much link up and have a comfortable middle ground. All of my merch I would be happy to wear, except for the pink ones. As a result, my fans are also happy to wear it because the people who listen to my music have similar sorts of interests to me. And I think that's really where you build that connection with your fans and where you build that fan-artist relationship, because they listen to your music and they really get it because they have similar interests, ideas, and likes to you. So yeah, I think the merch just needs to be a continued extension of your music, but in clothing form. Knowing your brand, but also knowing your audience, and knowing how to present yourself in the best possible and most eye-catching way, because you want something. Your hardcore fans will probably wear whatever you put out, whether it's good or not, but you want something that somebody's going to be proud to wear, not just at a show, but they would happily wear outside in their day-to-day life. And as a result, your name is subconsciously getting into more people's sphere of influence, sphere of awareness, rather. I've always been interested in anime and manga, and it's been a long-term passion of mine to have my own manga series. And as I said earlier, when there's something I really want to do, inevitably I do it. So it was just a case of writing the story and then finding the right artist to take that in and transform it into something tangible. And I'm lucky to have found that artist. And we put together the first half of the book that sold really well. The full book is done now, and I should be printing that next month. Finance is pending. And I'm just really excited to get it out to the world and to see people enjoying it, because again, it's just another extension of my artistry, but in a visual format, and hopefully it will encourage people who haven't heard of me, who like the book, to check out my music, and vice versa. Yeah, I'm incredibly narcissistic, so I had to. But it's just about my journey as an artist, and it's a indirect way of explaining the amount of work and effort that goes into building a long-term successful music career, but in a visual format, and in a bite-sized and digestible way, with a cool storyline and lots of fighting and superpowers. So I watched it and said I could do that, and so then I did it. That's basically it. Again, it's one of those I want to do this, so I'm going to do it moments, and I have a lot of those in my life, and this is just one in a long list of them. But yeah, it's fun, and it's something that I'm really interested in, because I train in the gym, I train in martial arts, but it's all well and good training and looking good and blah blah blah, but I actually like to use my body for things, and I like to know what it is I'm capable of, and more importantly, being able to push myself past what I believe I'm capable of. So, Ninja Warrior is the perfect arena for that, and it's something that it's a challenge that I relish, because why not? Why be average, and why be safe? Just me being me. Yeah, I don't want to reveal too much. I'm just going to say you have to watch it, but it's just me doing what I do, and if you believe that I am a ninja rapper, then you will see it in action. I would say just constantly seek to master anything that you turn your hand to. So, understand your music, but also understand the industry, the wider industry, and how it works, what people are doing as well, especially when in relation to your career. If you're working with other people, understand what it is they're doing. You don't need to understand everything, but at least know what they're doing and what they're meant to be doing, so that you know if they're doing it right or if they're doing it wrong. And also just be willing to take yourself out of your comfort zone. Again, whether that be musically or through your business, just push yourself, I think, and try and achieve as much as possible. You may not always achieve it, but I think that there's no harm in being uncomfortable and forcing yourself out of your comfort zone, because stagnation is far scarier than doing something new. Yeah, so I've got my new single coming out. It's called Kaio Ken. It's out on the 8th of April.
Yo, man, it's like Kaio Ken. Kaio Ken. You'll get hit with a Kaio Ken. Kaio Ken. When I switch it to Kaio Ken.
The manga should be out in April/May. Just depends on printing. I've got Ninja Warrior April/May as well. I'll be releasing a new single hopefully in the next couple months. EP after that. I'm also going to be on tour. I'm doing a short 3-day tour of the UK. London, Norwich and Derby. I'll be in London on the 1st of June, Norwich on the 3rd of June and Derby on the 10th of June. It's a totally independent tour, all run and funded by myself. So it's scary, but I'm excited about it. And yeah, I just want to see packed venues and people who are there to have a good time, because I love to perform and I just want to entertain people.
Yes, out, aka Lucy, aka Bruce Lee, aka Monkey, Big D Luffy, aka Sickness, aka the reason you don't mess with a guy who minds his own business. Might leave a scar, might make you realize you're not that hard. I'm a young black man with a samurai's heart in his hand, cause I end what a samurai starts. Kaio Ken, Kaio Ken, you'll get hit with a Kaio Ken, Kaio Ken.